My phone buzzed at 2:14 a.m. One message. 5 words. Can we just stay friends? I stared at the screen for a long time. My wife had landed from her 10-day solo trip less than 4 hours earlier. No hug. No kiss. No, I missed you. Just 5 words that quietly dismantled 8 years of marriage. I replied with only one, sure. Nothing more. No questions. No pleading. No anger. She probably smiled when she read it. She always believed silence meant surrender. She had no idea silence was simply where I started thinking. That night, while she slept in the guest room, she suddenly claimed she needed. I lay awake, replaying the months before her trip. The distance. The excuses. The new passwords. The expensive perfume she insisted she bought only for herself. A marriage doesn't collapse in one night. It cracks quietly. Until one sentence finally exposes the damage. The next morning she acted strangely relaxed. Almost relieved. "I'm glad you're being mature," she said, while making coffee. "I think friendship is healthier than forcing love." Friendship. Interesting choice of words. Friends don't secretly erase conversations before coming home. Friends don't return wearing jewelry they never owned before. Friends don't forget the anniversary they once insisted mattered. I smiled. If friendship is what you want, then that's exactly what you'll get. She thanked me. That was the moment I realized she had already written the ending in her head. She thought I would remain the safe option, the dependable backup, someone who would always be there if life disappointed her. I decided not to argue with her version of the story. Instead, I began writing my own. Over the following weeks, I became the perfect friend. No arguments, no jealousy, no questions. She grew comfortable. Comfort creates mistakes. Her phone stayed unlocked more often. Her guard disappeared. Shared cloud backups quietly synchronized onto the family laptop. She never noticed. Thousands of deleted photographs reappeared. Airport selfies. Beach dinners. Hotel balconies. None of them included me. Most included the same man. A travel photographer named Lucas. Then I found something unexpected. A folder containing screenshots of messages between them. She hadn't gone on a solo trip. She had gone on a vacation with someone she called her real peace. One message refused to leave my mind. "He'll agree to anything. He's terrified of losing me." I read it 3 times. Not because I was hurt, because it explained everything. She never respected my patience. She mistook it for fear. I said nothing. Instead, I hired a forensic accountant. Not because I suspected stolen money, because our finances had changed after her trip. The report revealed several luxury purchases charged to our shared account. Flights, resorts, designer gifts, all paid with money we had been saving to buy a home. The betrayal wasn't only emotional, it was deliberate. I quietly transferred my future salary into a separate legal account after speaking with my attorney. Every document was prepared. Every financial record preserved. Every conversation backed up. She continued, believing we were simply becoming friends. Meanwhile, I was becoming a witness, not a husband. A month later, she asked if we could officially file for divorce. "I hope we can stay close afterward," she smiled. "You're still my best friend." I nodded. "I agree." Her face relaxed. Then I placed a folder on the dining table. She opened it. Travel receipts, hotel invoices, photographs, bank statements, printed messages. The smile disappeared. Her breathing slowed. "You searched my phone?" "No." "You followed me?" "No." "Then how?" "I stopped trusting your words." Silence filled the room. For the first time, she looked small. "I made a mistake." "No," I replied calmly. "You made hundreds." She reached across the table. I didn't move. People think rejection is loud. Sometimes, it's simply refusing to close the distance. The divorce hearing lasted less than an hour. Everything had already been documented. There was nothing left to argue. When the judge finalized the papers, She looked at me with eyes I barely recognized. Fear, regret, confusion. Lucas never appeared. In fact, according to mutual friends, he had ended things weeks earlier. Apparently, vacations create fantasies. Real life destroys them. 2 months later, she stood outside my apartment. No confidence. No expensive jewelry. Only exhaustion. I was wrong. I know. I thought he'd choose me. I know. I thought we'd at least stay friends. I almost smiled. Friends don't spend years preparing someone to survive without them. She started crying. I miss you. You miss certainty. Her tears became heavier. Mine never arrived. Months passed. People told me she constantly asked about me. Whether I was dating. Whether I had forgiven her. Whether the first ever mentioned her name. The truth. I rarely thought about her anymore. Not because forgetting is easy. Because healing quietly replaces obsession. She believed asking to stay friends would keep one foot inside my life forever. She never realized friendship requires honesty, long before it requires forgiveness. She lost both. The night she sent those 5 words, she believed she was ending our marriage on her terms. She was wrong. She only revealed the truth early enough for me to leave with my dignity intact. Sometimes revenge isn't exposing the betrayal. Sometimes it's allowing the betrayer to discover that the only person they truly abandoned was themselves.